Hello everyone. Let's review meanings of shlokas 74 and 75 in Lalita Sahasranamam. Kaḻāvatī kaḻālāpā kāntā kādambarīpriyā varadā vāmanayanā vāruṇī madavihvalā viśvādhikā vedavedyā vindhyāchala nivāsinī vidhātrī vedajananī viśhṇumāyā vilāsinī. Let's take a look at the meanings of the nama. Kaḻāvatī. Kaḻāvatī means embodiment of all arts. So kalai or kala means arts, dancing, singing, etc. There are 64 such things. So she is the embodiment of all arts. Kaḻālāpā. Kala again is art, and lāpā means talking or speaking. So kaḻālāpā means she is the refined expression. So she's not just the art, she is the refined expression through us. So kaḻālāpā means she is the one who is the refined expression coming through us. Kāntā. Kāntā means one who is pleasing. Kādambarīpriyā. Kādambari is a wine. It's an intoxicant. So she is fond of the intoxicant. So what is that kādambari? That kādambari is nothing but the union of Shiva and Shakti. And that union of Shiva and Shakti is the ultimate reality, which is supreme bliss, the supreme consciousness. So she is someone who's fond of that intoxicant. And as she is in that bliss of that union, she is varadā. Varadā means she grants whatever wishes we have. It is not all the silly desires, but whatever we are truly wishing, what we truly need, all of those she is granting through her vāmanayanā. Vāma also means beautiful. So through her beautiful eyes. So her eyes are so generous in the bliss of her union with Shiva and with Shiva. She is so generous, and that generosity is reflected in her eyes, which makes it beautiful, and she grants us all our wishes. Vāruṇī madavihvalā. Vāruṇī again is an intoxicant. Madavihvalā. So she is intoxicated. And what that means is, as she is in the bliss of union with Shiva and grants us our wishes through her generous eyes, and we now are pursuing in the path of liberation. So the wishes are all towards the liberation, which is to reduce the suffering. And as we keep pursuing in the sadhana, we also become intoxicated with that unity of experience. What does that mean? That means we are recognizing our oneness with Devi. We are able to see her in our heart. In that, we also become afflicted by that intoxication. So vihvalā means afflicted. So vāruṇī madavihvalā, we also become intoxicated by that wine, which is the amrita, which is the oneness of ourselves with the Devi. Viśvādhikā. So Vishwa means world, Adhika means beyond. So she is transcending the world. Vedavedyā. She is someone who is known through the Vedas. Veda is the Vedas. Vedya means known or learned. She is someone who is known through the Vedas. Vindhyāchala nivāsinī. She is someone who is residing in the Vindhya mountains. Vindhyāchala is the Vindhya mountains. Nivāsinī means resides in. So she resides in Vindhya mountains. Vidhātrī. Vidhātrī means maker, a creator. She is the one who has created this universe, and she is also the one who supports this universe. Vedajananī. Veda is here Vedas. Janani means mother. She is the mother of the Vedas. Viśhṇumāyā. She is the Maya of Vishnu. So it is said that Vishnu is the Adhipati of Maya, and Durga is also Maya, and Vishnu and Durga are same, Shakti are both same. And it is said that, even though every minute passes, right? So a minute starts and the minute dissolves. After that, there is no looking back, right? Yet there is an illusion of continuity, right? So each minute is on its own, but there is an illusion of continuity, which is what Vishnu maintains, and that's where he maintains all the yugas. And that continuity, even though time is created and dissolved in every instant, is called as Maya. And also with the Maya, if you see, the fundamental ignorance there is not knowing our true self, right? And therefore believing in whatever we want to believe, and therefore acting in ways that we want to act. And all of this is driven by our desires. So the viśhṇumāyā, she is the illusion, and she is the one who influences people to act in whatever way that she wants them to act. And as the person who creates the universe, sustains and destroys, she also has two other things. She has tirodhanam. Tirodhanam is the responsibility of Maya. She conceals and therefore lets us act under the influence of Maya, and she is the one who decides when she will reveal and allows us to see that we and her are one and the same. So anything that happens for a person who's a sadhaka, who's pursuing, everything happens only when she deems that it's the right time. Vilāsinī. Vilāsinī means one who is playful. So we've covered all the namas, and let's look at two stories. One related to Vindhyāchala, the Vindhya mountains, and another related to viśhṇumāyā. So we'll look at the Vindhya mountains. Once sage Narada was traveling through India, and as we all know, the Vindhya mountains is almost in the middle of India. So it's kind of separating the north and south. So it's almost running through the middle. And so sage Narada came upon the Vindhya mountains, and we all know Narada is a prankster. So when he saw Vindhya mountains, he decided to play a prank. And he approached the Vindhya mountains and he said, "Oh, what a beautiful sunrise. I've never seen a sunrise so beautiful than what I see through you. And you have so much life on this mountain. You're giving shelter to all the sages who come and meditate in your mountain. So you are an amazing mountain. You'd have been the greatest mountain, alas." And he stopped at that. And Vindhya mountain was listening to sage Narada and was feeling very proud. And then finally he realized, he stopped with, "You would have been the greatest mountain, but," and he stopped at that. So Vindhya mountain prayed to sage Narada and he bowed to him. He greeted him. And then he said, "What do you mean? You said I would have been the greatest mountain, but." And then sage Narada said, "Why don't you call the sun and ask him the answer to your question?" And then Vindhya mountain didn't understand. He said, "What do you mean I would have been the greatest mountain? Am I not the greatest mountain? Is there someone better than me?" And then now sage Narada realized that Vindhya mountain was getting mad. So he didn't want to answer at all. So he quickly said, "I already told you, ask the sun who is your friend. You will get your answer. Now let me get going." So sage Narada left. Now Vindhya mountain is nicely stoked. So he really has to find out. So he calls the sun. He says, "Sun, come here, come here." And the sun came, and the sun and Vindhya mountains are friends. Every day he is above the mountain, and for the whole day he is there. So they are good friends. And sun did not know anything about what happened between sage Narada and Vindhya. So he said, "What happened, Vindhya? Why are you shouting?" And then the Vindhya mountain said, "Tell me, what is the path you take every day?" And sun was really surprised. Why is he asking me this question now? But anyway, sun answered. He said, "No, I start in the east and move westward, and then I go around Mount Meru and then set." And then he said, "What? What is Mount Meru?" And then he said, "Yeah, that's the mountain where all the gods reside. So I go around it." And he said, "Why are you going around the Mount Meru?" And then sun said, "Yeah, because I told you the gods reside there. And besides, the mountain is so tall that you can't just go. And this is the path that has been set." And then Vindhya mountain got really mad. "What? Every day you sit and talk to me? Have you ever gone around me? Why are you going around Mount Meru? What is so special about Mount Meru?" And then now sun thought, "Oh my gosh, I don't know what I've got myself into." And then sun told Vindhya, "Look, I have to just do what I'm asked to do. I've been set a path and that's the path. It's not my job to ask why I should do, etc. As I told you, the mountain is very tall. If I try to go through, I wouldn't be able to. That's why I have to go around. This is what I do every day. Now I have lots of other work to do. I can't stand here and keep talking to you, so I'm going to go. Now Vindhya mountain got really mad. Said, oh, the mountain is tall and that's why sun goes around. And if I want sun to go around me, I should grow tall too. So saying, the Vindhya mountain started to grow tall. He kept growing and growing and growing. It just went beyond control. Now it was causing instability in the earth and everything was shaking. Now Indra didn't know what to do, and Indra is responsible for the working conditions on the earth as well. So Indra thought maybe he should get help from somebody, and so he went to Sage Agastya, and he greeted Sage Agastya, and he said, Sage Agastya, Vindhya mountain has grown so tall, now this is causing instability. He thinks of you as a guru, he has lot of respect for you. Can you please tell him to not do this, stop growing? So Sage Agastya said, okay, fine, I'll take care of it. So Sage Agastya went home, got his wife Lopamudra, got his children, and quickly packed the bags, and they started to move from north to south. And so they came upon Vindhya mountains. And even though Vindhya mountain was, mad that Mount Meru was better than him, etc., he was still someone who respected Sage Agastya. As soon as he saw Sage Agastya, he bowed down and he said, how are you doing? What are you? How are you? And then immediately Sage Agastya said, I'm good, Vindhya, but I'm in a hurry. I just need to go. And then the Vindhya thought, oh, okay, the sage seems to be in a hurry, and I did not want to bother him too much. And then said, is there anything I can do to help you? I said, that's exactly the thing. You've grown so tall. Now, in order for me to cross and go to the other side, it seems like I can't just cross at all. I have to keep walking forever to try and cross the other side. It would have been great if you made some way for me. So immediately Vindhya mountain realized, oh, by growing tall, I've kind of blocked the path. So the mountain bowed down completely and came to his normal height so that Sage Agastya can cross with it. So Sage Agastya crossed, and then after he went to the other side, from north he went to the south side, he turned around and it looked like Sage Agastya was still not very happy. So then Vindhya mountain said, now you've crossed, what is bothering you? You still look unhappy. And then Sage Agastya said, I might have to come back soon, and then at that time I have to climb all over. And then so the Vindhya mountain said, don't worry, until you come back I will stay in the same height. You go and then come back, you do whatever you need to finish and come back. I will not go up again unless and until you come by. So Sage Agastya went, and the mountain, Vindhya mountain, stayed at its normal height. And after that point, Sage Agastya never went north. He always stayed in the south, and therefore the Vindhya mountains did not grow further, and it came to its normal height, which resolved all the instability in the earth. And so everybody, the Indra and all the Devas, thanked Sage Agastya. So this is the story of the Vindhya mountains and Sage Agastya and how he was able to control it. The other story is related to Viśhṇumāyā. Once Narada was walking with Vishnu, and Narada asked Vishnu, what is Maya? What is tell me about the power of Maya. And Vishnu said, you really want to know all of that? And then Narada said, yeah, please explain to me. I've been eager to understand what Maya is all about. What is it that the people talk so much about Maya? I'm interested to understand that. And then Vishnu said, okay, fine. You are an ardent devotee of mine, so you're asking so much, so I have to definitely tell you about Maya. So why don't we sit under the tree? Before that, I'm feeling very thirsty. Can you please get me a glass of water? And then I'll tell you all about Maya. So immediately Narada said, okay, fine, you sit here under the tree, I'll go get some water. And Narada started walking. And as he started walking, it was a desert and the sun was very hot. It was scorching heat. He kept walking and walking and walking. He couldn't find anywhere to get water. And as Narada started walking, he was parched. Then he thought, it's not just one glass of water. I have to get 2 glasses of water. First, I have to drink water and then only give it to Vishnu. So he went, and then in the midst, it was almost like a desert, and in the midst of it, he saw a house. And so he went and knocked on the door of the house, and the door opened, and he saw a most beautiful girl. He hadn't seen a girl like that. And Sage Narada completely forgot everything. And the question that popped out of his mouth was not, can I get a glass of water? He said, will you marry me? So immediately the girl also agreed. And then the girl's father came and he said, oh, I'm in this village. I'm the head of this village. and I will let my daughter marry you, but I don't know who you are, and if you marry and go away somewhere, then what will be my daughter's plight? So you have to stay in this village. So immediately Narada agreed, and then they married, and they had a family, they had children, grandchildren. Slowly the village chief passed away, and Narada was the chief of the village. Life was so good, everything was happening well. But one day there was a heavy flood in the village, and everything that he had worked for, all the fields were destroyed, the cows and everything were gone. His wife, his children, his grandchildren, everybody was washed away. In that entire village, only Narada remained, and he had this intense suffering that he had not felt before. And he immediately fell down and cried and said, "Why is this happening to me? Oh God, can you please help me?" And suddenly the entire scene vanished, and he was standing in front of Vishnu, and Vishnu asked, "Where is my glass of water?" And then Narada realized this whole thing was a Maya. It's the act of Maya, and that's how Vishnu showed what his Maya is. And actually, although the story says is an illusionary story, and it talks about everything being an illusion, it is also a very important thing to say that all the suffering we feel comes from our desires, right? So when Narada saw that girl, instantly he was under desire, and from there the desire became a bond, and that bond was causing him to dig deeper and deeper and deeper. And when something in that bond broke, it became suffering. So this is the whole idea of Maya. The whole suffering of human beings is from our desires, and our desires are whatever we believe them to be, right? Desires or dislikes, whatever we believe them to be, it is coming from a false impression that we lack something, that we want something, and this is always wanting. And that's why liberation leads us to a state where we don't want anything anymore. We are happy with what we have, we are content in what we have. And that's where the liberation is not a state, rather it is not like a destination, but rather a awareness that we are enough as we are. That doesn't mean that we don't have any ambition, we don't work towards life, because in the materialistic life, if we just sit down and not do anything, that also causes suffering. What it means is that we don't grow too attached to our ambitions. We work towards our ambitions, we work hard for the things that we want, but every day, every moment, our state of mind or our happiness does not depend on what happens with that. So we are able to be happy and then take the right actions towards what we need to do. There is a Rudyard Kipling poem called If, and it says that if you can dream and not make dreams your master, right? If you can think and not make thoughts your aim. So as long as we have that limited attachment and we do all the right things, then it is a good place to be. So that's a little bit about Viśhṇumāyā and how Vishnu showed Narada. That's all for today. Thank you.